Welcome back to Skylab Gaming with your host, Skylab Gaming Krazian, and the happiest game alive, Slime Rancher. Now, as you can see, it is only day 23. Unfortunately, I had to start a new file to get past a small bug. We're kind of at the end of adventure mode, or the story mode now, and I wanted to show you guys exactly what it looks like, but it appears that there was some kind of bug, some kind of issue. I'm not sure what it is still. As far as I can tell, after scouring the internet for many hours, a couple of people have had this issue, and it looks like the only way to get around it is to... Lucky... Oh, can I get this, Lucky? No, I missed him. Hold on. Okay. Okay, now... Okay, alright, well... the lucky slime ate that chicken. So I guess it worked out. Alright. But anyways, after scouring the internet for many hours, it appears the only way to get over the bug was to start a new file, which I have done here. So it took me a little while. I had to run back, get a bunch of Gordos. It was a bit of a trip, but I wanted to spare you guys that 8-hour adventure. So we're just kind of skipping back approximately towards where we left off from last time. So just to show you how to get there, I'm gonna run through the ruins here so you have an idea of, kind of a reference of how to get there. So off we go. Now, not to worry, even though this is technically the end of adventure mode, there's still plenty of other things to do in the game. I have not done any of the challenges, really. I've not done the 5-day rush, and there's still tons of fun stuff I'd like to do. Not to mention, I have not done any of the actual guides in quite a while, and because of all the new content that's been added to the game, I definitely think there should be an updated version, so definitely be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, we're gonna make our way on over to the glass desert as quickly as we can, hopefully without falling over and losing all of our odd onions and Q-berries here. If you're wondering why I have all these odd onions and Q-berries, I was basically stockpiling food so that I could get all the keys in order to do this. You basically have to open 4 or 5 slime gates to actually make it all the way towards the end. So you could certainly do it in a couple hours if you really wanted to, but there's tons of content and tons of things to enjoy in the game in the meantime. And I think if you're rushing all the way towards the end, you're missing out on a lot of the game. Alright, up and off we go here towards the end. Now, this file doesn't have the treasure cracker upgrade at all. Really, this file is kind of bare bones. As you can see, we're only at day 23 instead of day 183 or whatever it is on the main file. But like I said, it was enough to get us towards the end here. So, and whenever we are done with this, I'll switch back to my main file so we can take care of a few more things, and so that I can rearrange the ranch a little bit. After redoing it and going through this file, I actually found that separating your ranch off into sections, so such as meat eaters and fruit eaters and the vegetarian slimes, makes it a lot easier to farm them. It's much more difficult to run back and forth in between because the original file kind of was slimes that I sort of cobbled together along with the farms and everything else. So we're gonna hop on through this section as quickly as we can here. Hopefully in the next update that they'll have the map update. There have been a couple teased images of that on the Twitter of Monomi Park, the devs behind the game. So hopefully in the next update that will be live, because the glass desert is huge and confusing, and between this and the ancient ruins I do get lost occasionally. Sometimes still, and there are still tons of shortcuts that I'd like to show you guys too, because half the time that I spend going back and forth in between things could probably be a lot faster if I took some shortcuts. So I'll have to show you a little later on, but if you are looking for some fire slimes, one of the best times to get them is actually during these firestorms. Now, if you haven't done the HP upgrades, you do want to be careful. I came here a little early on when I only had 150 HP, and I died in a firestorm and lost a ton of vegetables. So definitely keep an eye out for that. You'll see these huge lava spouts, and they will shoot out some fire slimes, which you will definitely want to nab. Those little blobs will sometimes be fire slimes. So let's get on with it, though. We're going to pop this door open. Hopefully we have enough slime keys to do this, and we've done everything correctly up until this point. If there's a bug or something doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do at this point. Alright, now we're going to get past these angry slimes. Now, another way that you can get past these guys, another way that you can get, you don't have to particularly get the fire slimes or really any slime. You can just get their plort and then cross them with whatever you want. Usually I find that's a lot easier than trying to, kind of piecemeal particular slimes together, unless you are looking for a particular look. If you want, for instance, if you want fire tabbies, then you would probably be better off starting with the fire slimes, but to each their own. All right, we're going to hop on through here now, through this long corridor. And we're going to pray we don't need 2 more keys. There have been a number of Gordos added since the last guide that I did on that. So I will definitely have to show you guys where all the new ones are. There are a ton. And there are things that are past the credits, a couple of secrets, if you will, that I think will be really fun and really cool to see. So hopefully we read these last couple of notes from Hobbs, and then that'll be it. So let's get on with it. All right, our first note up here, big old floating H. 2 doors, Beatrix. Life is filled with moments when there's 2 doors and you can only choose one. I came to the far, far range because a search for the unknown is in my bones, and in time, even 1,000 light years away from Earth wasn't enough. So I searched for secrets within the ancient ruins that led me here. This place was my ticket to go even further. H. Well, it seems like H has had a very adventurous life. I mean, he came all the way from Earth and decided that even this wasn't far enough. So I'm not sure if flipping this switch actually affects anything. I'm not going to flip it for now and just see what happens. We're going to go ahead and read this next one here. The ruins are actually great engines that allow for travel through space and maybe even time. After years of study, I knew how to activate them, and I alone would be the first to cross into the true beyond. It was the ultimate adventure. But then there's that other door. I met Thora and fell in love. What are the chances of that? She had a piece of my heart, and the universe had the other. 2 doors, Beatrix. If you guys have been following along with the starmail in the game, there are 2 particular things of interest. One is some kind of romance that you had with someone named Casey back on Earth. And then the other is the romance between H and Thora. So kind of some similarities there. Basically, Casey and Beatrix were star-crossed lovers, if you will. And they had different dreams in different places. It's a little sad. It's a little sad. But it seems like, or hopefully, that everything will work out for the both of them. And I hope that things work out for both of these couples. You know, it's a fun little game, Slime Rancher, but there's this semi-serious side romance. It pulls at your feelings a little bit. Hello, little slime, what are you doing in here? So, after scouring this area, I don't think there's a whole lot else except for this straight path, so we're going to go ahead and move on forward here. I don't know what these slimes are doing in here, though. I don't know why other slimes spawn in here. I mean, they seem to be having a good time, though. Look at this phosphor slime being all happy. Alright. I chose my door. I went back to the ranch and promptly sold it. I packed my things and took a tour of this beautiful land one last time, leaving these little notes for you. It was time I said goodbye to the life I had. My hands and feet tingled as I approached this monolithic warp terminal. What lay ahead of me was an adventure unlike anything I had ever known in my life. I stepped onto the platform, my heart racing. H. So it appears that this teleporter is not working or not currently functional. I would imagine in further updates of the game that it will be functional, so you'll probably have access to a new zone from this teleporter once it's active. And it's very, very cool looking. It's got these magical stones going on. All right. Big breath. Hopefully everything turns out. But I didn't go. Aha. I had packed for a new adventure, but it wasn't going to be beyond space and time. So I said a little goodbye to what could have been and headed to Thor's ranch. I'm looking forward to hearing the sound of those wind chimes. I've never been in love before. Never known anything like it. It's time I got to knowing what all the fuss is about. So good luck to you, Beatrix. Always remember to use your head, but let your heart do the thinking every now and again. It might surprise you. H. And I think that appears to be it. Now, hopefully this will trigger the last of the events. So we are going to head on back to the ranch now, and we will read the last of the star mail. For now, anyways. Now, if you are looking to get back to the ranch quickly in this sort of monolith area of the glass desert that is towards the back, before you actually open up the first gate here, there is a Tangle Gordo that actually sits right up here. Obviously, I've already burst him. Feed him 50 meat, and he'll pop, drop a few things that we'll actually pick up right now while we're at it. Here we go. Some primordial oil and some buzzwax, and then you'll get a teleporter back to the ranch. Now, be warned, this is a one-way teleporter, so if you use it, you will not be able to teleport back. So, just be warned about that. Alright, so fingers crossed here. We're gonna go to sleep and hopefully trigger the next event. Oh, after that long adventure, I'd like to take a nap. And there, by the way, if you guys have not seen the model of Beatrix, there it is. And it looks very, very lovely. There's the happy little smile. Like her face kind of resembles a slime, like in a way, but like, I don't know, it's got its own style. It's cute. I like it. All right, we're gonna sleep till morning here. And we've got the star mail, and it is from Casey. So I'm gonna walk around here a little bit. I can't tell you how nervous I am, guys, just because I spent so much time on this new file just to show you this. So I really hope that it pays off. All right, here we go. Trying not to get emotional about it either. Like, I know it's not the end of the game. It's not the end of the game because there's still lots more to do and lots more to show. But we've already spent so much time on it and done so many videos and lots of content, and I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Another tour. Hi B, there's another tour coming up and I have a feeling that this will be the one. So here I am, packing my bags and thinking of you. Maybe this is how it felt when you were leaving for your big adventure. Lots of excitement, lots of butterflies. And even though I know you're so far away, I keep thinking that maybe I'll catch you somewhere out there in the crowd. If that ever happens, I promise I'll sing a song for you. It wouldn't be the first time. Casey. Aww. Aww. If you haven't read the entire chain of letters up until now, it's very sweet. It's very touching. Oh, that day, Beatrix took a moment to reflect. She thought about Hobson and Thor and the adventures she had had exploring the far, far range. But most of all, she thought of Casey and wondered where life would take her next.
Oh, please don't say that you'll go. My heart can't bear the news. Just knowing that you'll be 1,000 light years away if you do. And will you know when it's through? When you find what you're looking for? should have said it before you were gone. 'Cause I'm kicking myself for waiting oh so long. And I should have held you near every time I feared somehow you just wouldn't feel the same. So please don't say that you'll go. My heart can't bear the news, just knowing that you'll be 1,000 light years away. If you do, oh if you do. Well, I'm just sitting here gazing up at the stars. Let's say we pick one out and call the whole thing ours. And even though that light we see ain't the same for you and me, well, you'll know and I'll know that you and I can't even be 1,000 light years away, and I'd still love you. Oh yes I do. I love you.
For every pioneer on every new frontier, be brave, be bold, and stay wiggly. Ah, jeez. I said I wasn't gonna get emotional. I'm not. Oh, but that was perfect. That was wonderful. That was that was everything you could have hoped for in an outro. It was very sweet, and it looked like that was the character model or art for Casey there. It looks like, not 100% sure. So, but wow, fantastic art, great song, really, really great song. I would love to play that and sing that terribly off tune. All right, so we do have a few more things to take care of. Namely, we're going to read this mail that just came in. I'm going to take you guys on a tour, a very short tour of the Bare Bones farm, and then we're going to swap over to the main file for a little more fun. All right, let's pop in here and see what this new star mail is all about. Hello there, Hobson Twilgers. That's a cool last name. Hello, Beatrix. I just wanted to say thanks for taking care of the old ranch. I know I left it in a bit of a sorry state from what I hear. It's looking mighty fine these days. Makes him feel all warm and fuzzy knowing that it's in such good hands. As a little thank you, I've activated 3 secret vaults that I built years ago to stash a small fortune of mine. I'd always planned on using it as walking around money in the great beyond, but I ain't needing that no more. But you know me, I like a good adventure. I'm not telling where the vaults are located. Go explore. H. Hobson, you dog. So it looks like the secret are some vaults. I will actually have to take a look around and see where those are located. So we might not get to it this time, but that's pretty exciting because, hey, could always use a couple more new bucks. So as you can see, this is the undecorated house. I have not invested one single iota into the 7Z club because I was trying to get everything I needed as fast as possible. So namely the upgrades. This is where I spent most of my money so I'd be able to move faster, which lets me do everything a little bit faster. I'd have a little bit of health and power so that I could make it across some wider gaps, and the tank booster so that I could hold more stuff. So as soon as I can, I grab these rad crystal largos. The crystal and rad slimes are some of the easiest to get. They only take 1 key in the beginning to get into the indigo quarry, and then you can make these guys, and they sell for a very, very fair amount in the beginning of the game, you know, besides some of the in-game slimes like the tangle slimes and the mosaic slimes. So there is that. Obviously these are all fully set up now, but it was looking a little rougher earlier. So I basically planted gardens for these main vegetable guys over here. So all of these are odd onions right now, but they were odd onions and carrots previously. I did unlock slime science, the slime lab up here, but there's not much up here. I originally had some gardens going up here, but I kind of let them go to waste, unfortunately. So, and I have put nothing in the storage because I didn't really need it. I didn't see the point in spending a bunch of time making teleporters and other gadgets on this file. So, over here we've got the fruit guys. So we've got the honey phosphor largos, and we've got some honey crystal largos. Again, I tried to separate the slimes off by kind of what they eat, which did actually make it a lot easier for me to feed them. So we've got Q-berries over here, and we've got some heartbeats over here. I don't know why I actually planted them. I must have planted them for some rock slimes that I had early on, but then I realized that rock slimes are not really worth much. They're worth, let's go over here and check. They're worth just a little bit more than the pink plorts. Now, obviously they're up right now, so they're not base value. But as you can see over here, the endgame slimes, so the mosaic and the dervish and the tangle, those plorts are worth more than pretty much any of these. So I'll probably be replacing most of these guys with dervish. Maybe I'll do some fire slimes because I've already got some, and some mosaic. And we'll do most of those is what we'll do. So over here to the overgrowth section, and I did not unlock the docks. So there's that scoop up. What are you doing out of there, little chicken? I'll have to put you away later. All right, so these are the meat eaters. So I've actually got 2, believe it or not, I have got 2 coops this time, and they seem to be doing very well for themselves. And I've got these adorable, look at these guys. Look at these tangled tabby largos. They're very cute, but they're also very deadly. Over here, I've got some honey booms. I just like the way that they look. I know I had them on the other file, but they're just fun. And I feel like it's a good mix because they will eat fruit and meat, which is pretty much everything. My only problem with meat is that sometimes it can be a little hard to get meat with the coops over time, whereas stuff like carrots, I mean, carrots will grow 25, 30 at a time, so it's very efficient to grow them. So that is more or less it for this. Like I said, I did not get the docks because I didn't have the money at the time. I don't think it actually matters on this one. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, bare bones, but it got us to the end. So let's swap on over to the other file real quick and see if we can't get a few more things done today. All right, so we are loaded back on the main file here. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on this file just because it does have the bug. So, and I don't know how much that's going to hold me back to even show you guys the vaults. I'll have to swap back to the other file, but there are a few things that I really wanted to point out here. We've gone on a little far with this episode, so I just want to talk a little bit about the bug, and then we can go ahead and wrap it up. Welcome back to the actual Skylab Gaming Ranch. This is the actual one. You know, we're feeling a little different today. We're gonna swap chroma packs to Daybreak. Why? Because after finally seeing that outro after several hours on a brand new file, I feel like it is finally daybreak, even though it's currently nighttime where I am. So a little bit of a mix of things. So as you can see, it's day 195 here. I went a little crazy. I kind of went off the rails, just trying to figure out how to get that outro to activate. So if you're stuck on the mail and you did clear that very last part that you saw earlier, then your game file might be bugged as well. Here is a pretty good way to tell. So we're going to hop up over to the house here and go to your star mail. If the last piece of mail you got is read the van from Casey, then it might be bugged because this does not include the 3 new pieces of mail that actually came out in the 0.6 patch. Believe it or not. I could have sworn I had those pieces of mail on here. I'm not sure if they got lost to space and time or it was a separate file. I'm not sure how it happened. But I did not receive those on this current file after I logged back in for the next session. So if you're stuck on those, I'm not really sure what to tell you. I think the best way of going about it is to start a new file if you want to trigger the outro and be able to do all the endgame stuff for yourself. Otherwise, I would surmise that they're probably going to patch it at some point. Maybe the next patch, maybe not. I actually don't know how widespread of a problem this currently is. But if you are experiencing the same issue and you'd like to get access to the vaults, I'd probably go ahead and start a new game. And yay, it's always good to have a backup file anyways. Thanks again for joining me on this lovely day in Slime Rancher. Like I said, I think there will be plenty of other things to show you guys still. I'm really excited to go hunt down these vaults and show you guys where they are because, like I said, I could always use some more new bucks because this 7Z club is really expensive. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it. And hey, if you guys are excited to see something else in the game or you'd like to see a guide on something else in the game, then please leave me a comment below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As we say here on the ranch, the more ranchers, the merrier. Until next time, this is your host, Skylab Gaming Krazian, signing off.